What's up, everybody? It's Fruit Punch Saber here, and I'm here to talk about Granblue Fantasy Versus on why I'm so excited for the game and why you should be too. I want to start this discussion by talking about fighting games company goals for this generation. And most fighting game companies in this generation want to attract new fighting game players. They've done this by simplifying the game, adding auto combos, one button skills like Tekken, one button electrics, even though you can't use it in rank, punishment mode, two button DPs. They're trying to simplify the game, taking out Shoryukens. And so far in my eyes, I think Granblue Versus did the best job out of all of them. And why I think Granblue Fantasy Versus is better than its other competitors in bringing new fighting game players into their scene is because of RPG mode. So RPG mode seems like a beat 'em up 2D scroller that has two skills that you could equip and equipable weapons. And it seems the weapons based on what you equip will be based on your attack power and defense, like an RPG game. And I assume you get experience too, because it's called RPG mode, right? So RPG mode is not just a single player content. They also added a co-op mode. I don't know if it's co-op locally, but I think it is guaranteed for online co-op. So it's not just single player, it's you can play with your friends too. And what I love about RPG mode from the director's word, I'm gonna go ahead and read it. Let me turn my face this way because I didn't memorize it. He said, if you're new to fighting games, we think you should give the RPG story mode a try. It should help you ease into fighting games and get you used to things like character movement. While you're grinding away, you pick up a lot of gameplay basics, aka fundamentals, right? So the secret plan of RPG mode is to help new players, Granblue Fantasy players, ease their way into fighting games, get used to it, and learn the fundamentals. That's the whole point. And what I love about the RPG mode is it's not just a one-time thing, right? It's going to be expanded. They're looking for future DLCs to expand RPG mode. It won't be just like character release. I think it's going to be character with character story added to the RPG mode, and they're looking to expand that story. So that's really good. It's not just a one-time thing. I'm excited for that. Thank you, Granblue Fantasy Versus. So we got done talking about Granblue Fantasy Versus RPG mode and how it's going to help ease new players into the fighting game scene, right? And how the developers want to support the RPG mode by adding DLCs. And they're going to add the DLCs probably when you buy a character. It comes with a story, and that story is going to have like a side quest or an RPG mode quest. So they're going to build upon that, which is good. I like that, right? You don't want to just add on, versus mode, more characters. You want to also add the single player content. And I really do like that. But I want to talk about gameplay now. And guard. So to go over it again, right? Light, medium, heavy, unique attack. What the hell is this button? This is R1. R1 is skill, block, throw, overhead. And then you can place the throw by these two, square and X, and overhead just these two, triangle and O. I think it's probably best to play on the controller just because there's a block button. And block button, you think, why is there a block button in anime games? Well, just like I said earlier in the video, the developers want to ease new fighting game players into their game, and they don't want you to do any disgusting mix-up or cross-ups, right? There's still going to be mix-up in the games. It's still high and low, but there's still going to be, well, there won't be, I shouldn't say that, because some people will forget to say to use the block button, but you can block cross up just by holding the block button, and then you block both sides. So you just gotta guess the high and low. So that's a plus and a negative for me, but there's also other advantages to use that block button, like dodge mechanics, which is really cool. I like that a lot. And let me go ahead and show some gameplay. Okay, so we went over the buttons. Now I want to go over some gameplay on why I'm so excited on Granblue Fantasy Versus. So this is a match from me. You can see up there. It's from the beta. It's like 2019 March. Damn, that's almost a year. A year. Dang, that's a long time. Okay, but of course there's been lots of changes, like Oki, and some characters got some tweaks, but the UI overall is still pretty similar. I don't want to say the same. And I'm just going ahead and just play this real quick. So it's fairy versus fairy. So, okay, Oki. Let's talk about that since you won't see it in here, right? You'll probably see a lot of it in here, but in the final product per se, they removed, technically in the beginning, we all thought they removed Oki, right? There's no Oki in Granblue Fantasy Versus, but then they seem to bring it back, and you can still get Oki, just not with every knockdown. So you can only get Oki after EX moves or sweep, or probably other unique attacks and supers. So besides Oki, let's see, there's no air dash. Who's this motherfucker jumping? That's some other dude. Let's go. Oh, I'm Weander, right? Yeah. So there's no air dash, and that's really weird for an anime game, in my opinion. I'm like, what the fuck? There's actually a couple of anime games that has no air dashes, like Eunice, Koihime. I don't know about Million. No, that has air dash. But what's that other game called? The fucking, I don't remember. Ugarashi no Cry, something like that. The one with rollback. That anime had rollback netcode. That has no air dash. Only certain characters does. That's pretty much the same with this game. Not every character has air dash. Some characters technically have aerial movements, like Fairy when she swings around, Zeta with her lance, I don't know what the fuck she's doing in the air, and Matera with her little hop. So some characters have unique aerial movements, but not all characters do. And pretty much the basic with all characters, they don't really have an air dash, right? They got some unique aerial movements though, some of them, not all. And see, guard button, I went over guard button when I showed my arcade stick in the button, the default button layout, which you could change by the way, right? But that's the default button layout. So guard button, like I said early in the video, may seem pretty scrubby, right? But that's to probably help new players block cross-ups, which is pretty fucked up, right? So the true mix-up is high and low, but I also said this early in the video, some people may forget about the block button, so you can still cross people up, you know, if you catch them off guard. But there's a block button. Let's see, one button skills. One button skills. A lot of people complain about this when they first heard Granblue Versus had a one button skill. Me, when I first heard of it, I'm like, one button skill? Are they talking about like Blaze Blue, what do you want to call it, right? The S button? I thought it was going to be like a special, right? And this game does have a special, a unique attack, but it's not that. They actually really do have a one button skills where you can skip shortcuts of inputs and just push that one button instead. And like I said, a lot of people had a lot of negative feedback saying, oh my god, why does it have a one button? They're really trying to dumb down the game. Well, it's a consequence. The one button skill doesn't contain EX moves, So it's not EX. I'm pretty sure it's not EX. I think it's normal. And some characters, if you use the one button like Lativa command grab, it does less damage than if you do the actual command grab. And there's also a cooldown. Let's get to the cooldown part. So cooldown, some skills have cooldown. And in the beta, as you can see here, the beta had like, if you do a super, all your skills gone. You're on cooldown. You have to wait a couple of seconds before you can use your skills again. And I think in the finished product they removed that. So I think the only thing that can cause this cooldown is EX moves or the one button skills. And that's the consequence of the one button skills. I want to go back on the one button skills too, because I forgot to touch this part. But there's some special positive reinforcement on one button skills, especially on charge characters like Charlotta. So Charlotta, instead of holding down and then up for her dragon punch, she can just instantly use her one button skill to use that dragon punch, just in case you caught her off guard and you jump. So that's a benefit for some one button skills like charge characters like Charlotta. Okay, so we broke that down. Cooldown, one button skills. Let's see. Super mechanics. Supers in this game is pretty damn hard to get. It's pretty damn difficult, but I feel like it's the same as other Arc System games. So you only get supers at most. What I could see is 2. You probably could get 3, but that might be really hard to do. And then there's another super, they call it Skybound Arc. I just recently learned this because I started playing Granblue Fantasy. I want to call it Ogi, right? That's what they call their charge attacks. They call it Skybound Arcs. I guess I could fucking call it in this video. So Skybound Arcs is when you're dying. When you're below a certain amount of health, I think typically like 30%. You see that guy light bar, shit, he dead. But it was blue. So when your light bar turned blue, you can use Skybound Arcs. And that's like a super. And that does pretty much more damage than a regular super. Or different properties. Like fairy supers, it's like the awesome Yoga Flame. That shit bounces around the screen. It's pretty hard to combo in some situations. And her other supers is an install, which does like no damage, but she basically extend her combo routes. And if you want to do like raw damage, it's probably best to use Fairy Super or Skybound Art, however you want to call it. So there's some scenarios you want to use your Skybound Art over your regular super, and some scenarios you want to use your super. So they give you more options. It's not instant kill, and yeah, it's not instant kill, but it's still pretty cool. If you kill it with it, you get a special cutscene, which I like about it. Okay, we know over that. What else? Oh, unique characteristics. A lot of people complained, oh, it's only 11 characters. That's so bullshit. Like, come on, dude. It's 11 new characters that they had to build from the ground up. And not just the character, they had to build the freaking settings. That's, yeah, the settings, what do you want to call it? The background. Everything gotta get built from the ground up. I like it, right? It's beautiful. I enjoy it. I think 11 is enough for me. And they're gonna add 5 more in like 1 month. So it's technically 16 characters. You get 16 characters in 1 month. I think 17 too, because there's also a boss character. Just like they did with Majin 21 and Dragon Ball FighterZ. If you beat the game, you probably unlock a new character. So that's really good. And they're all different, very unique. They all have like different unique buttons. And like Fairy compared to Materia, they're both zoners, but they play very differently. Like Fairy Whip, you can actually hit. You can counter hit Fairy's Whip. and you could probably try play footsies with Fairy. You could try, but her whips basically has a hitbox so you can fight back. Materia, on the other hand, I think it's pure projectiles, so you could just dodge it, and then you probably have projectile invulnerability moves. You could probably use that to get through it. Dang. That comment distracted me. Man, degenerates. Alright, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. So, unique characteristics. Every character is pretty different. I enjoy that. I want to say the DLC character is going to be the same too. Like, they're going to be completely different from the other cast, but they're not even out yet, so I have no opinion on that. So every character is unique, even though it's 11 characters, but you got a completely brand new game, which is nice. There's no Dizzy in Granblue Fantasy Versus. No Dizzy at all. That's pretty normal in the anime fighting game, right? Well, at least BlazBlue. Guilty Gear did have a Dizzy system. I do know Rev 2. I don't know about the other versions, but there's no Dizzy mechanic in BlazBlue, that's for sure. So I'm not too worried about that, but this game is not too anime. But Eunice didn't have a Dizzy mechanic, so I guess I won't get too hung up on that, and probably don't want Dizzy mechanic too, because that will lead to fucked up situations. So I think in their best judgment, no Dizzy. Probably the right call. I'm gonna believe in Cygames. Thank you, Cygames. Please, Cygames chill. Okay, we went over no Dizzy. Chip kill. Oh my god. Okay, so they put in chip kill. I'm like, yo, this shit's sick, right? Chip damage. I love chip damage. But then they took it out. You can't chip kill in one of the versions. I'm like, what the fuck? No! Why? Oh, that's so whack. And then now they put it back in, it seems, in the final product. Like, I seen the latest version, like in Frosting. Chip kill seems to be back. And I love chip kills. Like, some people was like, oh, that's so bullshit. I should have never lost in the first place. You only won because you chipped me out. Well, I did win by making your life bar go so low that I can chip you out and checkmate your ass. Right? I deserve that win. That's a deserved win. I don't want to like fucking try to open you up one more time just because you got that bullshit magic pixel. Some people want that magic pixel comeback, but I think it's more hype if they could die by a chip. And what, I haven't looked too deep into it, but I don't know if Advanced Guard, Instaguard avoids chip kill. If it does, I think that's super hype. So Instaguard is pretty much like a parry. You gotta press back at the right time, and then you won't get chipped to death. I don't know if they bring that back, or they even put it in Granblue Versus. I hope they do, because that would be super hype. And let's see, I went over that. Actually, I think we're good. Yep, we're good. So that's all the gameplay mechanics I wanted to go over. I guess I can go over the UI. Let me go ahead and just fast forward this a little bit. I missed this beta. Beta was fun. Damn, Fairy was... I love Fairy, dude. But I think I'm gonna be a Narmia main. Just because. I love Narmia. And she has a katana. And by fighting game standards, if you have a katana, you're pretty much top tier. Plus, she could teleport. She has butterfly teleports. I think I saw in the lore. I can't really pause without making that shit dork. Alright, let me put away my camera. There we go. Okay, you can still see my mouse. So you got your life bar up here. Your round counts all the way right here next to your character icon. It's a little dots. And then below your life bar, you see a percentage. that's your meter, which is I think it's a good place to look at it, right? So you don't have to look down and up, looking at your meter, looking at your life, looking at your meter, looking at your life. You just look up. You look up, everything's upstairs. I think that's really good. I love this UI. So you can look at your meter up there next to the timer, and then your skills is also up here, and they have directional inputs just in case you forget. They're just a nice touch. I love it. Everything about this UI, I love this UI. And then the character icons is pretty much, it's beautiful, dude. It's bright. I love the character icons. It looks really beautiful. This shit's in 720, by the way, too. So, and then if you play online, you can see your opponent name, and then you see your name, and then it'll put delay 1, right? 2 delay. So you can see the delays. You see the nice. You see the combo count. Damn. Oh, that's me going ham. I'm a fucking gorilla. You can see counter is big. Everything is big. All the text. So the UI in this game is really good. I liked it. Okay, and this part, it shows you got chip. It shows you got chip. There's one thing I wish they add, and hopefully they might add in later versions of the game, is to add if you got crossed up or not. But I think they probably think it's not necessary because there's a block button, so you can avoid cross-ups. Okay, so now I want to talk about Granblue Fantasy Versus training mode. So I pull up the picture, and this is translated by Granblue_EN on Twitter. Like I mentioned him in my other videos, he is a saint. Thank you for translating this moon runes. Okay, enough of that. So the training mode, the first thing that caught my eye is input delay. So input delay pretty much confirmed is going to be delay based netcode, and I've seen in my earlier footages in March from the beta, it seems they're going to keep the input delay, right? Because why bother changing the netcode? And what you can see in training mode is pretty much the basics, and a lot of people, or at least the voices on Twitter, they say it's pretty similar to Dragon Ball FighterZ training mode. So you got your standard position reset, character 1, 2P, stage. You can change the BGM within the training mode instead of just backing out. And then you can put input delay if you want to train for online. God. And character specific settings, right? There's character specific settings because I mentioned this early in the video. Every character is unique. And then in the second tab, you can see max HP, healing, meters, skybound aura activation, ability icons. The same thing for player 2. And then the third slide is opponent type training dummy. You can put like I guess CPU, player 2, and recording. Opponent stance, crouch, stand, jumping, jump forward, all that stuff. Block setting, don't block, random block. Block switch to forwards, practicing confirms, throw teching, tech setting, counter hit setting, counter attacks, court. Like I said, the basics. Vanish display. This one's a little bit unique, but I feel like more and more fighting games are adding this to their game too, right? Like Street Fighter have the vanish display too, and Tekken 2 also, and Mortal Kombat just has straight up frame data. I think they didn't want to go with frame data because people don't like looking at numbers, and numbers scares people away. So they're like, oh, let's just color code everything and make it easier. So they'll probably go with the basic red and blue advanced display so you can see your frames by colors. Guard display. I don't know what that means. That one might be interesting. Opponent state display, damage display. I don't know what guard display means. Vanish display. Actually, Yeah, I think advantage display is going to be color coded and won't be numbers, but I would prefer frame data, like actual numbers. And maybe if it's color coded in the beginning, they can add frame data later on, like other games. Input display. Oh, it's displays. Okay. Yep. And that's it. That's the training mode, right? Let's see. Phase 2. Oh, yeah. Okay. They talk about counter attack. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that. Okay, so we got done looking at the training mode of Granblue Fantasy Versus. Now here's this thing called tactics mode, right? So tactics mode, I know it's in BBTAG. I'm not too sure it's in other fighting game. It's to basically teach you how to play the character. I know Units does that too. So Units does that, and I know BBTAG does that. Others fighting game just teaches you the combo route. But tactic mode is basically teaching you how to punish and how to play your character. And like he said in translation, how to escape tricky throws. I did mention Granblue_EN earlier in the video, the saint that translates everything that's Granblue related. It's awesome. And so I went ahead and record all these videos, right? I did ArcSys games because Granblue Fantasy Versus is an ArcSys game. So as you can see on some of the tutorial training, challenge training, Dragon Ball had battle tutorial, freaking E. Oh fuck, there's too many videos. Okay, let me fucking pause this shit. Alright, so let's look in the bottom left hand corner. So this is tutorial mode in BlazBlue Central Fiction. Right, it teaches you basically the game mechanics. You go from beginner, intermediate to advanced, and so forth. So it teaches you all the text and stuff. But tactics mode, look in the bottom right hand corner. See what's it called? It's called tactics mode. That's from BBTAG. And if you could read it, right? I'll read it out loud if you can't. Basics, that's the first tab. It teaches you the basics of the game. Practical application, I guess, teaches you how to apply what you learn into the game. Characters teaches you character specifics, right? It teaches you how to play the character itself, and with a little bit of combo trials. And missions is, I don't know, I didn't play missions. Shh, sorry. Oh fuck, did I press play? It didn't. I'll just play the others. Because BBTAG have tactic mode. What the hell is this playing? Why is it froze? Oh, yeah, alright, I remember now. Okay, so BBTAG has this tactics mode. I want to focus more on BBTAG because I feel like Granblue Fantasy Versus is going to be pretty much based on BBTAG tactics mode because it's called the same thing. See, look, you go characters to teach you character explanation, combos. This is missions. Oh, okay, I see what missions is. It basically is telling you situations and wants you to do certain actions in that situation. I'm coming up Dragon Ball FighterZ. I just noticed that. Dragon Ball FighterZ training mode sucks, dude. Their combo mission sucks too. It doesn't teach you shit. But look right there. No, there. See Guilty Gear? That shit looks fun. Look at that shit. I had fun, I'm not gonna lie. I had fun doing Guilty Gear training mission. That shit was pretty fun. I hope Guilty Gear Strive keep this. I think the tutorial mode in Guilty Gear is extraordinary. It's above and beyond. It's so great. Oh man. But it won't be like Guilty Gear. It'll be more like what you see in the bottom right hand corner, which is BBTAG. Just because it's called tactics mode, I think it's going to be pretty much the same. So that's that for tactic mode. Am I right? Punishment training, prepare. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty much going to be like these. Dang, I hope they have combo missions too. I'm looking at BlazBlue Central Fiction. I remember challenge mode, the combo missions. Those were like one of the most fun things I love doing in fighting games. Not like Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Look at that shit. Look at my combo missions from Dragon Ball Fighter Z. So lame. Let me go to the hard part. The hard part is, hold up. Oh, there you go. 1, 2, 3. Ah. Alright. Yep. Out of all the arcs this game, I think it's closely to BBTAG, just because it's called Tactics mode. I hope they have challenge mode. Alright. I made fun of fucking Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I'm playing fucking mine. Hey. Actually hurts a C. But still. Hey. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, because it's called Tactics mode. So it's probably gonna look similar to BBTAG. And you saw it earlier. You're gonna have basics, teaches you the basics. Practical application, things to apply the basics. Characters to learn character specifics, and missions to practice certain scenarios. That's how I feel like Granblue Versus is gonna. That's how they're gonna do the tutorial mode. Okay, so we're done talking about their training mode and the tutorial mode. I was going to be, well, the tutorial mode is called Tactics mode, which is pretty much, that's what BBTAG tutorial mode is called. So I assume it's going to be very similar to BBTAG in that format. And I guess it's not that bad, right? But now I want to talk about their colors. So I'm at the Granblue Versus official. They have an official Twitter account, and they did release this video of Shido in RPG mode. So I want to go back to RPG mode. So in RPG mode, after you battle, I assume you get rupees, and you can use the rupees to purchase weapons. And this goes along with their single player content. And I want to again thank Granblue Fantasy to remember to add single player content to a video game. Thank you. Okay, so maybe I should mute it. I forgot about that. Here we go. So you could see Shido. He's talking, or she. I think Shido's a she. So she's selling you all this stuff. You can buy skills, but most importantly, you can buy weapons, and you can buy costume colors. Costumes and colors. So there's other costumes in the game too. I heard very dark outfit is in the game, and I hope there's Zeta dark outfit too, her swimsuit outfit. See, there goes the color palette. You're gonna have to purchase it. So if you want more colors, you're gonna have to use your rupees. And then to earn rupees is probably RPG mode, or I assume Versus too, but online. So that's the color coding in that section. Alright, so I went over all of basically the Granblue Versus news, and that's why I'm so excited for Granblue Versus to get released. It's 7 days for the JP release. I'm definitely going to buy the JP version because there's no announcement on NA or even EU. I don't buy EU, but there's no announcement for EU either, unfortunately. So hold that. I'm gonna go ahead and review what we went over in this video. I'm gonna look down. Let's see. So I talk about how Granblue Versus achieved, the main goal for this fighting game generation, which is to bring new fighting games players into the scene, or new players into fighting games. And they successfully did that with RPG mode, and it seems the company wants to support RPG mode because they want to add DLCs and expand it further in the future, which is great. I love that. I talk about the mechanics and the gameplay. I went over the tutorial mode and training mode, their tactic modes, which is similar. I'm assuming it's going to be similar to BBTAG, because BBTAG tutorial mode is also called tactic mode. Let's see. If you look at their training mode, we saw input delays, so most likely delay based netcodes confirmed for the game. But hey, there's always next time. Damn, I died a little bit. Let's see, character palettes. You can only get character palettes by purchasing rupees. I think it's going to be like BBTAG, where you can pretty much buy, you get money by playing more ranked or online, and then you can also probably get money from RPG mode and story mode too in this game, Granblue Fantasy. And there's co-op in it, which is good, and there's no release date for NA, so hold that, hold that shit. Let's get the JP version. That's like one downside, no release date, and it's almost February already. But besides that, the game's looking pretty good to me. I'm excited. February 8th, dang, that's so close. I'm gonna buy the game twice. I'll buy the Japanese version, and then I'll buy the English version. I'll buy the Ultimate Edition for the English version, so I could enjoy their RPG mode, their story mode. I want to get into that, but fingers crossed. Hopefully, it'll be just like Granblue Fantasy, right? Granblue Fantasy has an English text option, so maybe the JP version they might do the same, right? You buy the JP version or download it in Granblue Fantasy, the JP version, and just put that shit in English. Dang, that would be sweet. I don't have to buy the game twice. But anyway, I appreciate your guys' support. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you so much. Please like the video and please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I hope by the end of this video, you two are pretty excited for the game, or you're really excited for the game since the beginning of the video, because man, I want this game to grow. I don't know why, but I just really like the Granblue Fantasy IP. I just got into Granblue Fantasy December, and I've been playing it a lot lately. It's a real grind, but it's strangely fun, and the story and characters is really interesting. I really love them. I especially love Percival and Lancelot. Story, the Knights event, I did the past event, and that shit got pretty damn heavy, especially his Percival story. I don't want to do a review. I'm gonna go ahead, let's not get sidetracked. Let's go ahead and end it. Appreciate you guys sticking around. Thank you so much, and I hope we'll get an NA release date soon. If not, I hope the alternative, I hope the JP version has English sub just like Granblue Fantasy does, and I don't have to buy the game twice. That's my alternative. Goddamn, I hope this works. Right? Alright. Laters. See you everybody. Bye.